Imagine you've been hungry for 2 days. You finally find fresh deer tracks. The herd is close. You know exactly where they're going. Today is your only chance to feed your family. Then the sky turns black. A cold wind hits your face. Seconds later, the rain begins. Not for an hour, not for a single day. It rains all week. The trails disappear beneath mud. The river becomes impossible to cross. Every piece of firewood is soaking wet. The cave floor starts flooding. And somewhere outside, hungry predators are looking for the exact same shelter you are. Today, rain means canceling a picnic. 50,000 years ago, rain could erase an entire family from history. But somehow, our ancestors didn't just survive these endless storms. Some of humanity's greatest inventions may have been born because of them. The first problem wasn't getting wet, it was food. Hunter-gatherers depended on reading the landscape. A broken branch, fresh footprints, bent grass, tiny drops of blood, everything mattered. Heavy rain destroyed all of it. Within minutes, animal tracks filled with water. Scents disappeared, streams overflowed. Even experienced hunters could lose an entire herd. Running through slippery forests wasn't worth the risk either. A broken ankle, a deep cut, or falling into a swollen river could mean certain death. Modern hunter-gatherer studies show that people often reduce long-distance hunting during severe storms and instead focused on surviving until conditions improved. Sometimes, waiting was the smartest decision. Once everyone reached shelter, one task became more important than anything else: protect the fire. Humans have controlled fire for at least 400,000 years, with evidence from Chasm Cave in Israel and possibly much earlier at Wonderwork Cave in South Africa. But making a brand new fire wasn't always easy. Losing the flame could leave an entire group cold, hungry, and defenseless. So during heavy rain, someone constantly watched it. Wet logs were split open to reach the dry wood inside. Dead branches hidden beneath thick pine trees were collected because they stayed dry longer. Birch bark became valuable because its natural oils burn even when damp. Some groups even carried glowing embers wrapped inside tinder fungus or dry bark so the fire never truly died. That fire wasn't just heat, it was the center of life itself. Once the fire was safe, nobody sat around doing nothing. Rain created time. Archaeologists have found thousands of stone flakes scattered across cave floors throughout Africa and Europe. Those tiny rock fragments are the leftovers from making tools. People repaired broken spear points, sharpened knives, made scrapers for cleaning animal hides, carved wooden shafts, and prepared weapons for the next hunt. Bone needles, appearing more than 60,000 years ago, allowed people to sew fitted clothing instead of simply wrapping hides around their bodies. Others twisted plant fibers into rope. At Hohlfels Cave in Germany, researchers discovered a 35,000-year-old ivory tool specifically designed to twist fibers into cord. That simple invention changed everything. Rope meant stronger shelters, better hunting traps, stronger spears, and the ability to carry heavy loads. Sometimes, the biggest technological breakthroughs happened because people couldn't go outside. A week of rain didn't mean food disappeared. It meant food changed. Fresh mushrooms appeared almost overnight. Wild greens began growing. Soft soil made edible roots easier to dig. Termites and flying ants emerged after storms, providing enormous amounts of protein. Even today, chimpanzees feast on termite swarms after rain. Early humans almost certainly did the same. Rain also filled natural rock pools with clean drinking water. Some prehistoric campsites contained carved rock basins that may have helped collect rainwater long before pottery existed. The people who understood nature's rhythm weren't waiting for the storm to end. They were adapting to it. When 20 people are trapped inside a cave for days, they talk. Children ask questions. Older hunters explain mistakes. Grandparents tell stories. Knowledge spreads. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner, studying the Jew/Hwanzi people of southern Africa, discovered that conversations around evening campfires shifted away from daily problems and toward storytelling, songs, traditions, and teaching. Rain gave ancient humans something rare: time. Time to explain which berries were poisonous, how to find water during drought, which valleys flooded first, and where predators like to hide. Every story carried information. Every listener became more likely to survive. Long before schools existed, the cave was already a classroom. Eventually, the tools were finished. The clothes were repaired. The fire was stable. The rain was still falling. So people created something unexpected: art. Deep inside caves like Chauvet in France and Sulawesi in Indonesia, people painted animals with astonishing detail tens of thousands of years ago. These weren't random drawings. The artists understood movement, muscles, light, and memory. Many paintings were created hundreds of feet underground using small stone lamps fueled by animal fat. Nobody knows exactly why they painted. Some researchers believe the images were connected to rituals. Others think they taught hunting. Perhaps they told stories. Whatever the reason, these masterpieces required one thing above all else: free time. Storms may not have invented art, but they gave people the opportunity to create it. When the clouds finally cleared, our ancestors walked back into a different world. The ground was soft. Fresh animal tracks covered the mud. Streams were full. Plants had returned. The hunt could begin again. But the people leaving the cave were no longer the same ones who entered it. Their weapons were sharper. Their clothes were stronger. Their children had learned new skills. Their stories had grown. Their fire had survived. Rain didn't stop human progress. It created the quiet moments where progress happened. Every rope, every stitched hide, every cave painting, and every survival story passed from one generation to the next may have begun during a long week of rain. Sometimes the greatest advances in human history weren't made while chasing animals across the plains. They were made while sitting beside a small fire, listening to the rain, and preparing for the day the sun finally returned